Turin is a bustling city with a special character. Throughout its long life, it has played many leading roles in the history of Italy. Once a Roman military camp, Augusta Taurinorum centuries later became the main city of the Savoy dynasty, and in 1861 received the status of the first capital of United Italy. And in this video, I have collected 10 reasons proving that even now Turin is not going to give up its positions. Turin is a city of outstanding cultural heritage. 15 royal residences included in the UNESCO World Heritage List, the Egyptian Museum, considered the second most important after Cairo's Palazzo Madama by architect Filippo Juvarra, as well as the Cinema Museum in the Mole Antonelliana Tower, a symbol of Turin. The city has more than 40 museums, including the recently opened Museum of Oriental Arts and the Cesare Lombroso Museum, dedicated to the famous criminologist of the late 19th century. Nowadays, Turin is recognized as one of the capitals of contemporary art thanks to numerous private and state collections and foundations, museums and galleries, such as the City Gallery of Modern Art, the Museum of Contemporary Art located near Castello di Rivoli, the Sandretto Re Rebaudengo Foundation, the Mario Merz Foundation. It's impossible to accurately count all the cultural events taking place in the city. These include the Turin Film Festival, Mito Settembre Musica, the International Jazz Festival, events under the aegis of Contemporary Art Torino Piemonte, the Artissima Exhibition, and finally the Christmas Light Festival, Luci d'Artista. Once upon a time, country palaces were places of summer recreation and hunting for the Savoy kings. Now they are monuments of history, art, and landscape design. 17 country palaces of the Savoy dynasty in the Piedmont region were declared UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 1997. At the time, they were built not only for practical reasons, hunting, summer recreation, entertainment, but also to show the greatness and power of Savoy not only to the Turin residents but to all inhabitants of Piedmont. Currently, the castles and residences of the Savoy dynasty have become museums and exhibition venues, concert halls and places for festivals and performances, centers of attraction for tourists and cultural life. But above all, they are outstanding architectural monuments. Turin is considered one of the greenest cities in the world. For example, the famous architect Le Corbusier found Turin the most beautiful city from the point of view of its location. Rousseau and Nietzsche admired the panorama of Turin, a city at the foot of the Alps on the hills. The city's landscape is adorned by the Po River and other rivers, Dora Riparia, Stura, and Sangone. Today, the city authorities are constantly working to preserve the purity of nature. Within Turin, there are 17 parks, the most famous of which is Parco di Valentino, with an area of 450,000 square meters, on the territory of which there is a botanical garden founded in the 18th century, as well as a castle and remains of the medieval part of the city. Another green area is Parco della Pellerina, located on the banks of the Dora Riparia River. Here are tennis courts, skating rinks, and areas for summer performances, and behind the Royal Palace in the city centre are the Royal Gardens, laid out in 1697 by architect André Lenotre. By the way, it was he who designed the legendary Gardens of Versailles. As in most large Italian cities, the inhabitants of Turin are divided into two parts, fans of Juventus and Torino. Both clubs are considered among the oldest in Europe. In 2006, the city hosted the Winter Olympic Games and a little later many other international competitions, from fencing to golf, from short track to rhythmic gymnastics, from basketball to athletics. In 2013, the World Masters Games were held here. Turin is the cradle of Italian sport. Here, in 1889, the Alpine Club of Italy was founded, uniting the first mountaineers, the first tennis club, 1880, the Rowing Federation, 1889, the Ski Club, 1898, and in 1959 the first Summer Universiade was held, followed by the winter one in 1966. Turin will appeal to those who like to party all night long. For example, in the Quadrilatero Romano Quarter, which is in the city center, there are many bars, galleries, wine bars, restaurants, and shops that do not close until late. Borgo d'Ora and Porta Palazzo are quarters, where during the day there is trading in large noisy markets, and at night they transform into centers of nightlife. The San Salvario Quarter claims to be the leader in nightlife entertainment, without losing its business status. By the way, during the day, one of the most beautiful markets in the city operates here in Piazza Madama Cristina. Other areas of the city are also happy to welcome guests and tourists at any time of day or night. In the evening, it's worth checking out Piazza del Castello, Piazza San Carlo, Piazza Vittorio Veneto, and Piazza Bodoni. In these pedestrian zones, there are cozy cafes and bars where you can party all night long in a noisy crowd over friendly conversation and with a glass of Aperol Spritz. Food and restaurants are undoubtedly the main characters in the life of Turin and its surroundings, and an important part of the city's culture. Every 2 years, Salone del Gusto e Terra Madre is held here, an international enogastronomic festival for gourmets. Also in Turin is the first Italian food and wine store, Italy, occupying an area of more than 10,000 square meters. It is located on the territory of the former Caprano Vermouth factory. Piedmont is the birthplace of world-famous wines such as Barolo, Barbaresco, Asti and others, white truffles and many traditional dishes. All these enogastronomic delicacies can be tasted in Turin. Among the local dishes that have gained worldwide popularity, we should mention a variety of ravioli, agnolotti, cheeses and crispy breadsticks grissini. You will find these dishes in any restaurant, regardless of its orientation. And there are many options for where to eat here, from traditional restaurants founded several centuries ago to restaurants with signature cuisine. Turin is the birthplace of many large industrial enterprises. The Fiat factory started its work here in 1899 and to this day remains an important player in the world of automobile manufacturing. Over 100 years of modern industrial history, giants such as the Pininfarina and Italdesign Giugiaro Studios, Alenia Aeronautica and the Azimut Benetti Group, luxury yachts, Mattioli, jewelry, and Laura Tonato, perfumery, were born here and gained worldwide recognition. The style and taste characteristic of Turin have given us companies such as Lavazza, Martini, Guido Gobino, Pirano and Ferrero. All in all, Turin is a city that's impossible not to fall in love with. It has everything: history, culture, food, entertainment. I will definitely come back here more than once. Have you been to Turin? Share your impressions in the comments.